December 5th, 2001, Wednesday. Seriously thought about and even tried calling into work. I called, but no one answered, so I soldiered on. I am in box and my throat still sore, my voice not working right, and having major fits of coughing. I didn't think I should be doing a job where I basically talk all day. Well, I came anyway, like I said, and we were fucking dead. I sold close to 10 tickets in my first hour of work. I'm glad I came in. It turned out Mary, the weekend concession girl, called in sick, so Mr. Flynn had to call another girl in. I came prepared too, so that's good. I have about 10 CDs, 2 books, Tuesday, this, and my new poem book, so I'm set. I only have 5 hours left. I guess I finished that poem for Erilyn. It's called Bull, ? There's a reason why. To make writing the poem a little easier, I use an acronym to help start. It's always Tuesday at my house, Orange Eyes, which obviously are both of our screen names on the computer. The poem was supposed to be about orange eyes, and it's not really, although orange eyes is part of the acronym, and there's also about 3 lines pertaining to eyes. I may try to do another one. Still at work, and I'm listening to my 6th CD, Styx's Greatest Hits. I have 3 CDs left before I have to recycle. 3 hours to go. It's funny. I just sat down and wrote, in about 5 minutes, a new poem for Erilyn. It's actually quite a bit better than the first one. I don't know if I should give her just the new one or both. This one is called Clockwork Pupil. Orange eyes, clockwork orange. Pupil, eye, get it? I'll give her the choice to change the titles, and whatever she wants to call them will be what they are called. I just read about 30 pages of The History of Freemasonry. I haven't read it since about January of 2001. It still doesn't make much sense. It still doesn't make much sense to me, but it still is interesting, and I am determined to finish it. It'll be one I read over and over eventually. Just finished another poem. It's one of my trippier nonsense gibberish ones. I called it Prism Attractions. Overall, work wasn't so bad. Basically just hung around joking, telling stories, and talking music with Mr. Flynn. He told me something, a story that really struck a chord in me. But before I get to that, I just want to say how it's interesting that he tells me stories about him and his friends, and I tell stories of me and my friends. People just love telling stories about their past. I know I do. So we're listening to The Freshman by the Verpipe, and Flynn told me that when they came to Columbia, the Verpipe that is, his friend's girlfriend went to the concert and ended up going back to the band's hotel and engaged in an orgy with them. Imagine that. How would you feel? The woman you love fucks a couple of guys, we'll assume, just because they're in a band? What's that about? Although I will say that if I was in a band, I would so take advantage of that. Take advantage isn't the right word, or phrase, but I'll use it anyway. How could you forgive her? Could you forgive her? A guy she likes and knows is one thing, but a guy just because he is famous and in a band? If it was me, for some fucking insane reason, I would want to know everything that happened. What else she did, how many people, kind of like what happened with Marilee and that guy. It hurt so fucking much knowing that she was with someone else, and it made me sick to my stomach, but only when I didn't know much about it. Once she told me a little about it, I calmed down and dealt with it. It was when I didn't know anything, and I let my imagination take over, is when it hurt really bad. Does anybody understand or agree with me? Writing the previous thing made me think about something. Girls, women, they, for the most part, are very protective when it comes to their bodies, their virginities, and who they have sex with. Now, it depends on the girl, of course, on how protective they are, but for the most part, So these girls who cherish and respect sex will go and engage in some crazy orgy just because some guys are on MTV. Guys, they don't know and never will. They will let these guys use their bodies for a night and take the pain of being thrown away. Doesn't sound like fun to me. If I was a girl, I mean. I'd let Rachel Lee Cook, Jennifer Connelly, and Larissa Oleynik use me anytime. Question. Why don't you ever hear about male groupies? Do you think Britney Spears and gals like her have people go out into the crowd to gather hot guys to join her backstage? No. Why is that? One last thing. Girls say that guys only think about sex, and they don't know about romance and chivalry, yet these girls fantasize about guys who are merely faces on the wall and a voice from the speaker. Somehow these guys can do things that normal guys can't. Guys, normal guys, are never good enough because girls build up their perfect guy way too much. which can be related back to what I said last night about the implementation of the fairy tale mentality into girls at a young age. A girl's white knight in shining armor comes holding a guitar and with bleached hair and a choreographed dance routine. No normal guy can beat that. It's true. But we can beat fucking girls in the bathroom or dressing room in an arena or the back of a tour bus, only to, that's a weird line, only to throw them out come bedtime. Their hair flat, makeup smeared, the band guy only thinking about the nameless fuck he'll have in the next town. Am I being cynical? After work, I showered and went to Suncoast and picked up my copy of Almost Famous, Untitled, Bootleg Edition, then grabbed Taco Bell for the third night in a row and ate with Tim. Now I'm home typing journal entries and writing philosophical things about groupies. Great day, huh? Random thought. Lighting up some incense and candles, dropping some acid or ecstasy and tripping and transcending to the wall the dark side of the moon. I was thinking about something today. It's kind of self-absorbed and egotistical, but I was thinking about it nonetheless. All of my creations, my stories, poems, screenplays, inside jokes, and how everything fits together and relates, it makes me think about perhaps someday someone writing a biography book about me in which they chronicle as best and as much as possible the origin and order of these things. From the Castor Cage stories to Stephen Epic's saga to It's Always Tuesday at My House and KHBS WTG. It'd be really cool to see and to know people actually cared, more than just myself. End quote. It sounds like a whole load of wholesome family fun. Brett Allen Coker, screenplay, Squelch.